Dear friends and fellows, welcome to a new HSC tutorial. Today I'm going to discuss about the reportable dangerous occurrences. I'm your host Javed and you are watching Safety First. If you are new on Safety First, kindly subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. If you find the video informative, then like, comment and share with your friends. First of all, we will see what is a dangerous occurrence. If something happens which doesn't result in a reportable injury, but which clearly could have done. This is a very short definition of dangerous occurrence, but maybe you will not understand exactly. Let us look by the other way. Do you know what is a near miss? Anything, any source or situation with the potential to cause harm is near miss. Then in journal, near miss and dangerous occurrence looks similar. What is the difference then? The difference is near miss is a recordable incident internally by an organization or the company. They will investigate and they will record and they will implement the lesson learned. While a dangerous occurrence is one of a number of specific reportable adverse events which are defined by law and report must be submitted to the authorities within 10 days. NEMIS is an internal tool to identify, report, investigate, and record. But dangerous occurrence is reportable, not only recordable. And reportable adverse events have been decided by law itself. There is no choice for the organization or the company or the management. At the end, dangerous occurrence is also a near miss. All the dangerous occurrences are reportable under READER. What is READER? The Reporting of Injuries, Diseases and Dangerous Occurrences Regulation 2013, framed and developed in 1995, implemented since 1996, modified in 2013. Dangerous occurrences are certain specified near misses. Not all such events require reporting. There are 27 categories of dangerous occurrences that are relevant to most workplaces. And I'll give you a brief overview of all 27 categories one by one. But first, you must know who will report the dangerous occurrence. Reader, the Reporting of Injuries, Diseases and Dangerous Occurrences Regulation 2013 puts duties on employers, the self-employed, and people in control of work premises, the responsible person, in other words, the management, to report certain serious workplace accidents, occupational diseases, and specified dangerous occurrences, near misses. Keep in your good mind the authorities and the timing is different as per the local laws of different countries. But dangerous occurrences are reportable events or incident everywhere. Let us discuss now the 27 categories of reportable dangerous occurrences. Number one, lifting equipment. The collapse, overturning, or failure of any load bearing part of any lifting equipment other than an accessory for lifting. And you should know what is a lifting accessory. Lifting accessory might be a D-shackle, chain sling, or webbing sling. Reportable dangerous occurrence under reader. Number two, pressure systems. The failure of any closed vessel or of any associated pipe work other than a pipeline forming part of pressure system as defined by Regulation 2 of 1, the Pressure Systems Safety Regulations 2000, where that failure could cause the death of any person is reportable. Reportable dangerous occurrence. Number three category, overhead electric lines. Any plant or equipment unintentionally coming into contact with an uninsulated overhead electric line in which the voltage exceeds 200 volt, or close proximity with such an electric line such that it causes an electrical discharge. Number four, electrical incidents causing explosion or fire. Any explosion or fire caused by an electrical short circuit or overload, including those resulting from accidental damage to the electrical plant, which either result in the stoppage of plant involved for more than 24 hours or causes a significant risk of death, is a reportable dangerous occurrence. Fifth category of reportable dangerous occurrences are explosives. Any unintentional fire, explosion, or ignition at a site where the manufacture or storage of explosives require a license or registration, as the case may be, under Regulation 9, 10, or 11 of the Manufacturer and Storage of Explosive Regulation 2005, are explosion or ignition of explosives unless caused by the unintentional discharge of a weapon, where apart from that unintentional discharge, the weapon and explosive function as they were designed to, except where a fail-safe device or a safe system of work prevented any person being endangered as a result of the fire, explosion, or ignition. Reportable dangerous occurrences. Category 6. The misfire of explosives other than at a mine or quarry, inside a well, or involving a weapon, except where a fail-safe device or safe system of work prevented any person being endangered as a result of this misfire. Category number 7, any explosion, discharge, or intentional fire or ignition which causes any injury to a person requiring first aid or medical treatment other than at a mine or quarry. Category number 8 of reportable dangerous occurrences, the protection of material beyond the boundary of the site on which the explosives are being used or behind the danger zone of the site which caused or might have caused injury except at a quarry. Here, the danger zone means the area from which persons have been excluded are forbidden to enter to avoid being endangered by any explosion or ignition of explosives. Category number 9, the failure of shots to cause the intended extent of collapse or direction of fall of a structure in any demolition operation. Category number 10, biological agents. Any accident or incident which results or could have resulted in the release or escape of a biological agent likely to cause severe human infection or illness. Category number 11, under reportable dangerous occurrences, the malfunction of a radiation generator or its ancillary equipment used in fixed or mobile industrial radiography, the irradiation of food or the processing of products by irradiation, which causes it to fail to de-energize at the end of the intended exposure period, or equipment used in fixed or mobile industrial radiography or gamma irradiation, which causes a radioactive source to fail to return to its safe position by the normal means at the end of the intended exposure period. Here, radiation generator means any electrical equipment emitting ionizing radiation and containing components operating at a potential difference of more than 5 kV. Category number 12 of reportable dangerous occurrences, breathing apparatus. The malfunction of breathing apparatus, where the malfunction causes a significant risk of personal injury to the user, or during testing immediately prior to use, where the malfunction could have caused a significant risk to the health and safety of the user had it occurred during use. Category number 13, diving operations other than the mines. The failure, damaging or endangering of any life support equipment, including control panels, hoses and breathing apparatus, or the dive platform, or any failure of the dive platform to remain on station, which causes a significant risk of personal injury to a diver. Category number 14, the failure or endangering of any lifting equipment associated with the diving operation. Number 15, the trapping of a diver. Number 16, any explosion in the vicinity of a diver. Number 17, any uncontrolled ascent or any omitted decompression which causes a significant risk of personal injury to a diver. Reportable dangerous occurrences. Category number 18, collapse of scaffolding. The complete or partial collapse, including falling, buckling, or overturning of a substantial part of any scaffold more than 5 meters in height. Any supporting part of any slung or suspended scaffold which causes a working platform to fall, whether or not in use, or any part of any scaffold in circumstances such that there would be a significant risk of drowning to a person falling from the scaffold. Number 19, train collisions. The collision of a train with any other train or vehicle other than a collision reportable under Part 5 of this schedule, which could have caused the death, the specified injury of any person. Reportable dangerous occurrences. Category number 20, wells. In relation to the well, other than a well sunk for the purpose of the obstruction of water. A blowout, which includes any uncontrolled flow of well fluids from a well. The coming into operation of a blowout prevention or diversion system to control flow of well fluids where normal control procedures fail. The detection of hydrogen sulfide at a well or in samples of well fluids where the responsible person didn't anticipate its presence in the reservoir drawn on by the well. The taking of precautionary measures additional to any contained in the original drilling program, where a planned minimum separation distance between adjacent walls was not maintained, or the mechanical failure of any part of a well whose purpose is to prevent or limit the effect of the unintentional release of fluids from a well or a reservoir being drawn on by a well, or whose failure would cause or contribute to such a release. Category number 21 of reportable dangerous occurrences. Pipelines or pipeline works. In relation to the pipeline or pipeline works, any damage to, accidental or uncontrolled release from or inrush of anything into a pipeline, failure of any pipeline isolation device, associated equipment or system, or the failure of equipment involved with pipeline works which could cause personal injury to any person or which results in the pipeline being shut down for more than 24 hours is a reportable dangerous occurrence. Category number 22, the unintentional change in position of a pipeline or in the subsoil or seabed in the vicinity, which requires immediate attention to safeguard the pipeline's integrity or safety. Category number 23, structural collapse, the unintentional collapse or partial collapse of any structure which involves a fall of more than 5 tons of material or any floor or wall of any place of work arising from or in connection with ongoing construction work, including demolition, refurbishment, and maintenance, whether above or below ground. Category number 24, under reportable dangerous occurrences, the unintentional collapse or partial collapse of any false work. Category number 25, explosion or fire. Any unintentional explosion or fire in any plant or premises, which results in the stoppage of that plant or the suspension of normal work in those premises for more than 24 hours is a reportable dangerous occurrence. Category number 26, release of flammable liquids and gases. The sudden, unintentional, and uncontrolled release inside a building of 100 kilograms or more of a flammable liquid, of 10 kilograms or more of a flammable liquid at a temperature above its normal boiling point, of 10 kilograms or more of a flammable gas, or in the open air of 500 kilograms or more of a flammable liquid or gas. Category number 27. And category number 27, under reportable dangerous occurrences, hazardous escapes of substances. The unintentional release or escape of any substance which could cause personal injury to any person other than through the combustion of flammable liquids or gases. Dear friends and fellows, you are watching Safety First, and today we are discussing about dangerous occurrences and its journal 27 categories. For your kind information, under radar, reportable dangerous occurrences are in 6 parts. Category 1 to 22. This includes journal incident occurring at any workplace. Category 23 to 27. This is also for general workplace except offshore workplaces. But in category 3, it starts from 28 to 87. These incident occurs at specific types of workplaces. Category 28 to 46, it's about mining. 47 to 53, about quarry. 54 to 74, about transport systems. And 75 to 87, this is about offshore workplaces. And that's all. Training session is over now. If you have any question, please ask in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment and share the video. Hope to see you soon with the new HSC tutorial. Till then, take care. Good luck and Allah Hafiz.